What's up, world? Super Mario World. Oh man, I have a history with this game, and it's not like a awful history. It's just a very meh history. In the words of Cloud, meh, or his gestures anyway. I don't have many feelings about this game. I first owned it on the SNES Mini, which is kind of late. This game came out in 1991, I want to say. Or 1990 even. And I've never had an opportunity to play it. You know, I had sold my Wii before the Virtual Console really became big, or if it even started offering SNES games. The 3DS, I owned the old 3DS model, and you know, I just never really cared to go out of my way to find a way to play this game. It never meant much to me. I guess it had cool looking animation, but I was never so compelled to play it. When I played this on the SNES Mini, I got to a certain area of the game where I stopped. I'm sure if you played this game to the end, you know which portion that is. But I have feelings about the game. They're mixed. They're good and bad. And I want to just be honest with my feelings and just share them, put them out there, and you know, see what other people think. You can let me know at any point in the comments what you think about Super Mario World. What do you think are the good and bad of the game? I'm totally open to hearing about people who gush over it or absolutely hate it or somewhere are in the middle, kind of like me. But this is my experience with Super Mario World, the good and the bad. Let's start with some of the good. Alright, so as I said before, this game is beautiful. It is really striking visually. It's very easy on the eyes. I think if you compare it to the textures produced by the Nintendo Entertainment System for the first 3 Mario games, this one is definitely an upgrade. It looks good, it sounds good, the animations are cool, in-game and even in the overworld. The idea of the Mario overworld is really well implemented here too. I know in Mario Bros. 3 they toyed with the overworld in a way where, you know, you progress on the overworld and there's like some level variance, but in this one there's secrets in the overworld, and that can be one of the most exciting things. I actually really like some of the moments where you find hidden switches that affect in-level layout, that like add blocks and make it easier for you. Those are some of the most rewarding exploration elements on a 2D overworld, which is kind of crazy in and of itself. With that being said, one of the biggest pitfalls, or things that I think kind of is in the bad here, is also the overworld. There's a point around World 5, I think it's like the Forest of Illusion is what it's called, where the overworld just becomes really confusing and you feel trapped if you haven't discovered a secret exit. And I think they push the secrets a little too hard because there's some that just don't make any sense. There's one where you have to get a key in an aquatic level and the key is hidden in the wall. Like you have to swim through the wall to get to that key. I somehow managed to see that key at one point as I was like swimming through the level, but I don't think it's really visible to the naked eye. But with that being said, I have to say that one of the biggest advents of Super Mario World that's notable today is the cape. You know, the cape is the upgrade that lets you soar through the level if you gain enough speed. You know, I guess they kind of did that for Mario Bros. 3 where you had the power meter and you were running, and then, you know, with the Tanuki suit, you could like start flying. The cape is really cool here because it's like that, but you can kind of like float up and down through the level. I think when you do it right and are in the right level for it, it can be one of the most liberating feelings. And, you know, just that feeling of satisfaction of being able to soar past the whole level, like this, it's really cool, especially when you're kind of running through this game. To that point, though, with this being one of the most liberating things, it feels like it's not put into great practice in many of the levels. There just aren't so many opportunities to use it to its fullest extent. You can use it to do things like crush some of the dry bones or to spin attack, and you know, that's useful in levels either where you're running or you're underwater. But I don't find that it's really easy to go soaring through a level and, you know, like not get interrupted by some blocks. There's like a famous instance of this for me where it's like a lava level, and yes, you can generate enough momentum to go flying, but you'll end up falling into the lava pit if you're not careful. Also, for every great upgrade, there may or may not be one that's not as great. In this case, Yoshi. Now, this is his first introduction as far as I know, and I'm sure people can use him in a useful way. I think actually one of the coolest things about Yoshi is when you do and you digest like a Koopa shell that gives you, you know, spurts fire, or if you get the wings on Yoshi, you can fly through the level. But I find that Yoshi, for the most part, just feels very awkward to control, and that he's not so useful. You can get a little extra air, and it is a buffer as far as like, you know, keeping your health, but your health isn't even something you really need in this game. You don't need like to have so many buffers to prevent you from getting hit, because in general the game is mostly easy. I don't think there were so many moments that really proved difficult. I also don't know what the rhyme or reason is for like when Yoshi gets like the fire, or when he gets the wings. If someone knows that, you can leave it in the chat or in the comments below. I'd appreciate it. Now, I do want to talk about some things that I do really like about Super Mario World, including just kind of like the extras. Now, usually in a Mario game, whether it's 2D or 3D, there's collectibles. Like there's the collectible red coins, or you know, you can get all the stars, or you can collect the 3 coins per every level. In this case, there's 5 coins for every level, but they're optional. And what they do is they give you a 1-up. Now, I really like going for those 5 coins, but there's no obligation to do so as far as completion. And I think that's actually, it makes it really unique. I personally prefer that, because that way the emphasis is really just on enjoying the level. And if you want to try and get the 1-up, you can. At one point, you know, within like the first 2 or 3 worlds, I remember having like 30 lives. And, you know, part of that was from collecting the big coins. Part of that was from collecting coins. Part of that was from other things, like at the end of every level, there's a field goal where if you cross the tape, you get a bunch of stars, and they let you play a mini game where you can get more coins. There's mini games inside the level where you can try and hit the blocks, and you know, it'll produce a 1-up. There's hidden 3-up mushrooms, 1-up mushrooms. There's just a lot of surprises within every level, which I think is probably one of the most charming aspects of Super Mario World, and what makes it kind of enjoyable as far as a platforming adventure. With that being said, one game the area dramatically fails in is the bosses. It's very anticlimactic bosses. Okay, Bowser's pretty good at the end, but I don't think that the game really holds up so much as far as the bosses that it produces. And it's kind of a shame, because you know, even like the standard Bowser boss battle at the end of every Mario 1 sequence, or you know, the Koopaling sections and in the Mario Bros 3, those were pretty exciting. These are kind of just like slap in the face dumb. Some of them are, you know, a little challenging, but very underwhelming in the grand scheme. And I think that's just kind of how I feel about the game in general. It feels underwhelming. It feels like it plays wrong. It plays differently than Mario Bros 1 and 3, which it feels like it should play more similarly to. It has like kind of a physics to the running that doesn't feel the same as in those games. I think the aspect ratio, you know, while it might be the same, Mario takes up like a little more surface area or something, so it like the running feels different. And you know, I know people say, oh, Mario plays faster than Sonic. Well, explain this. Is this the fastest Mario goes in Super Mario World? And this is the one that's a comparison to Sonic the Hedgehog 1 on the Sega Genesis? Y'all are crazy. And even with the cape, he's not going that fast. My, you know, typical Sonic run goes way faster than this. So I don't understand that logic. I don't think this game is like the best example of Mario platforming. I do think it's a great example of Mario exploration. I think it's almost unmatched in some ways in terms of the 2D exploration. It has its own kind of unique identity, and it's very distinguished, and it makes you want to explore the overworld and the levels to figure out more secrets in the overworld. But as far as a platforming adventure, I don't know that I personally care for it that much. I'm glad I played it. It was a good time, and it's good to add to my library of games played. What do you think about Super Mario World? Have you played it? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll talk to you soon.